Hi, my name is Julia. I'm with Julia Sue Stamping, where I'm passionate about stamping, coloring, creating paper crafts, cards, and sharing the fun of that with you. I'm from Northeast Ohio and am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have problems saying that. It's a tongue twister for me for some reason. I have no idea why. Anyway, I really appreciate you joining me today. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. And we're going to have a real quick card that is happening here. So I created a template of a card that I wanted to share with you. And I also have the inside. So this is what I've been doing, and I recently created a card with that exact template with this layout. See how it's the only thing that's different is where this was put here. It's in a different place on here. So what I am going to go over with you right now is this card today. Let's see if I can get it close enough that it's a good shot. And then the inside, it is framed by a green. Now, would I normally have chosen these colors? No. This is really far from my comfort zone. This is much closer to my comfort zone. Why did I choose these then? Because I decided that it would be good for me to get out of my comfort zone and looked at Stampin' Up's color, what is it called? Color chart, I think they have, and where they've got all the colors that of Stampin' Ups listed with other colors that coordinate. And went through, looked them up, and saw that these colors supposedly or do go together. They're like contrasting, and there's probably a scientific reason or an artsy reason on the wheel that they go together. But here we go. I will share that color chart with you down in the description, and all of the supplies that are used for this card will also be down in the description. If you already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, that's fine. But if you decide to use me as your demonstrator, if you want to purchase any of the items used for this card, I would appreciate that. It helps me grow my small business, and it would mean a lot to me. Please be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already a subscriber to the channel. That also helps me grow this small business and is very appreciated. Are you ready? Let's turn that camera down to the work surface and get started. Here it is. As I said before, this is the card we're doing today, and it's a birthday card with a little bit of a green around. Let me bring in the colors here, introduce them to you really quickly. I've got pumpkin pie base, then for the inside of the card, I've got a basic white that measures 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm going to surround it with this lemon lime twist piece that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So it's just an 1/8 inch bigger than the basic white, and we'll frame it very nicely. Let's go ahead and do that. Using the Stampin' Seal, which side do I want to use? And then inside the card it goes. There will be about 1/4 inch all around. This card is going to be oriented this way. Often we do cards like that. So right now we're going to make that decision to have it oriented like this. I've got some texture on this card, and I'm using the cut and emboss machine with an embossing folder. The embossing folder that I'm using is the Stripes and Splatters 3D embossing folder. It has a stripe, can you see that? Or it has speckles, looks like rain or something like that. Very interesting. So we're going to use the speckles today. Set that aside. Build the sandwich. I'm going to put this on the bottom and this goes on the top, and I turn it into a C shape. Do you see how it's a C? The inside one is not as far out, and it also always have the folded part leading. The hinged part is going to go through the folder, is going to go through the cut and emboss machine first. Can you see that? So it has a nice emboss on it. And now the green piece, the lemon lime twist. Again, making sure that we have a C, and the hinge is going to be fed through first. I'm going to move the cut and emboss machine to the side. So some nice texture today. Go ahead and, oops, wrong thing. Gonna go ahead and put some adhesive on the back. Excuse me, and I want to have this more toward the bottom of where the card opens up. And the lemon lime twist goes on the top part of the card. This piece right here has been cut 2.5 inches by 5 1/4. And this piece here has been cut 1 3/8 by 5 1/4 as well. So it has lots of dimension and texture. Now for some stamping. What I used today for the stamp set is the circle sayings. I wanted the happy birthday image here and also the cupcake image here. Using the Memento Tuxedo ink, black, because it's very good for using the blends. I want to have something under here. This is a photopolymer stamp, so it needs a little bit of a cushion. So I'm going to use the silicone sheet as the cushion. Helps get a little cleaner of an image stamped off. I'm going to do 3 cupcakes sitting here. They might be all in a row really nicely, they may not, that's okay. And then while I have that out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the happy birthday on this smaller sheet. This smaller piece is, this is 2 3/4 by 3/4. That turned out very nicely. And this piece here, our image piece, whatever we call that, our this piece is 2 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So our image piece is going to be centered on a piece of the pumpkin pie that is 2 1/8 by 4 3/8, This one measures at 2 and 4 1/4. So it's simply an 1/8 inch bigger and gives it a nice frame. Now to color. I'm going to bring in some blending with these Stampin' Blends. I've got crumb cake. I thought that would make a really nice chocolate looking frosting for on top of the cupcakes. So I'm going to begin with coloring all of the frosting in. And what I'm going to do is speed up the video here, because I'm not sure you would want to sit here watching me slowly color all of this in. It will take a little time. I'm going to take the darker crumb cake, go around edges and the little lines that have been drawn onto the stamp, to accent it just a little bit. Help give our cupcakes frosting some dimension. And I will also speed it up again. Living up to its name, the blends are now going to blend everything in together. Since they're an alcohol marker, they are going to, all the colors will blend. I've got the lighter color again. I'm pulling in the darker one and helping it all blend together. So now it has some darker parts, some almost highlighted parts, and it all blends in together very nicely. Again, I'm going to speed it up here. For the cupcake itself, I decided I wanted a nice light pink. So I'm using the petal pink. That's going to make it almost look like a vanilla. Very lightly coloring those in. It's a very small cupcake area. And I keep my colors together in my drawer that I use by using a little scrunchy hair tie twisty thing. So I always have my pair of blending my Stampin' Blends together. So now I'm coming in with a lemon lime twist light colored blend. Going to color all of the cupcake holder with that. And I'll speed up the video again. After I've colored everything in with the light, I'm going to go in again, just like I did with the frosting, with a darker color. And I'm going to do all the lines with it, as well as kind of outlining the entire cupcake liner. This helps give dimension to the image. Speeding up the video. All right, finally, just as before, I'm going to go over it one more time with the lighter color. This will blend all the colors in and give it a nice artistic look. Speeding up the video again. Excellent. All of those are done. Setting aside the silicone sheet, and you can see why I wanted to use it. When you do a lot of coloring, it's easy for those colors to bleed through. That helps protect your surface, your work surface. Okay. Now to adhere this to the piece that mats it. Excellent. I like how that turned out. I'm going to give it a little bit of dimension by using some dimensionals. They're almost gone. Using the last bit of these, cut them into much smaller pieces. There we go. And now taking off the back. And putting it onto our card. Okay, I have the sentiment here that has been put on, and I would like to have it right around here. It's going to be slightly off, so this very end here is going to also have a dimensional, but the rest of it will just have some adhesive up at the top area because the bottom is not touching like the top does. Do you see what I mean? How the top is touching? Okay, and the dimensional is there helping keep it lifted off. Yep. All right, so the card is all done except for our final touches. I grabbed the Tinsel Gems 4-pack here, and using the Take Your Pick tool, I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put 5 or so on this card. And they come in 2 different sizes. So I'm going to use the 2 different sizes. Oops, I accidentally grabbed 2 on that one. Come back down here. There's one there. I should have it on the camera. And one more got stuck to my finger. I'm going to take it off, put it right up there. Thank you so much for joining me in making this great birthday card. I hope that you have a chance to get inky yourself today. It's good for you, for your mental health, and it's something that you can give away and share with other people, which also is good for you. Please be sure you give the video a thumbs up. Details are down in the description, as well as my online store address. Bye.